Hey guys, Mishcap1 here, doing a bit of a different video today. I had a pretty positive response overall to the replay review that I did last video. So this is a post-game commentary of a live game that I played just earlier this morning. So this way, I know a lot of people they prefer to see it they prefer two things, right? They prefer like the more analytical content, and they prefer to see the game from your perspective, so like they can understand like what you're looking at, like how you're taking trades, like the specifics of like your mouse movement and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to be showing here. A little bit of the best of both worlds, but yeah, just a little bit of a different video for today. So we'll see if you guys like it. So this is a game I've been playing. This is low master tier, Diamond 1. This is I think I got to 99 LP off this game, but so I'm trying a bit of a different setup, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But the matchup here is Pantheon. So the reason why I'm leashing the Fiddlesticks is because the matchup is really bad for me. If you hard push into a Pantheon, like say, you know, if they're a tank, right? They're like a Shen. Well, Shen maybe you let him push into you as well. But if like a Maokai or something like that, you would push it into them aggressively, right? Or if they're Jax, like you would push into them aggressively. You don't have to. But this right here, the reason why I'm letting him push into me is because if you push aggressively into Pantheon, he will just kill you because you're gonna be playing near his tower, and that's really bad for you. This is like the most classic way, I would say, to play the Singed laning phase, where you let them push into you and look for tower fling. So I hit him with 2 tower shots there, which is really good for me. And now we're just gonna last under tower, trying to avoid some damage as much as I can. Sadly getting hit by Qs, so I think I dumped some potions here. Do I use? Yeah, so I dumped another potion charge here. And Pantheon's actively looking for the kill. Obviously, he has Ignite, he has Flash, he wants to kill you. That's the whole point of playing Pantheon in the early game. And I think okay, yeah, so I'm going for the fight here. This is actually a bad trade by me, and this is also why it's useful to look at your games after you played them. Like if you have a poor laning phase, or if you play a team fight poorly, it's very important to watch your replays. And even to this day, I notice myself improving a little bit after every time I watch a replay. So the mistake that I made there was I tried to fight the Pantheon in the early game when I was at like 75% health, and Pantheon, you know, he can stack his Conqueror up very quickly because of his W. All of his abilities proc Conqueror, so he gets a ton of AD if you don't respect it. And that being said, he just kills me with the Ignite there. So, you know, it's fine, it happened. You know, we recover from those. Going to teleport to break the freeze that would have happened, and then it's going to proxy behind the tower, and I actually get a lot of benefit out of this. So, even though he killed me, I'm ahead in CS. I'm actually farming quite well. I hit the W on him right here. Alright, let's talk about the setup. So, the setup I'm doing, you could do this with like any keystone theoretically. You could run this with like Aftershock or like Spellbook or even Predator, but I'm doing Overgrowth with the health scaling rune in this game. And the way I'm playing it, so this is actually quite bad for me as well, because I was, you know, for some reason, I guess I was in kill range. Now, I was really surprised by that. I did not expect him to kill me there, but, you know, I don't play versus Pantheon a lot, so I'm just not aware of his kill pressure. You know, early game monster, early mid game monster falls off pretty hard late game is generally the trend with Pantheon. But like I was saying, so this is a different setup that I'm doing. I've been racking my brain over the Riftmaker item, and like I know that like I keep saying it's bad because I feel that it is not the greatest item. Like I feel like the item doesn't live up to its potential, but I think this game I potentially found, like through my experimentation, I'm always trying new stuff on Singed, but I think I found through experimentation a way to potentially make Riftmaker quite useful early on into the game, to make it like actually quite decent. So the setup that I did was I went Overgrowth with Scaling Health Rune, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm rushing Riftmaker, but the second item that I'm buying in this game is Blighting Jewel. So for those of you guys who don't know what Blighting Jewel is, Blighting Jewel is a 1250 gold cost item. I have it pulled up here. A 1250 gold cost item that builds into Void Staff. So for 1250 gold, you get 25 AP and 15% Magic Pen. Void Staff, the full item, costs 2600 gold. You get 65 AP and 40% magic penetration. So Blighting Jewel, I'm basically just pairing that with Riftmaker early on into the game for a 2-item decent power spike. And then if the game goes late, you can pair it, you can like combo it into Void Staff later for that late game insurance policy and scaling. Void Staff is really high damage for Singed later into the game. So right there, I'm flinging him into the Fiddlesticks, who is lane ganking because he knows Pantheon has no summoners. Pantheon tries to escape. His ability, I think one of his abilities when he hits it gives him movement speed or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how Pantheon's kit works, and I probably should read it, but he does gain movement speed when he lands an ability, I think, somehow. The Pantheon can go fast, basically, for some reason. But yeah, so Blighting Jewel, it is 1250 gold for 15% magic pen, 25 AP, and it builds into Void Staff late game. It gives you a great late game insurance policy. So the idea behind the build is I'm going Riftmaker first to get some healing and some health. Then I'm going Blighting Jewel second to get Magic Penetration. So Magic Penetration will increase the effectiveness of the Void Staff bonus damage. And because it will increase the bonus damage, it will also theoretically increase the true damage that the item deals because you're just dealing more damage, right? Because the Riftmaker true damage is based off of your total damage output. 10%, I think. So right here, I fling him into my tower, and I actually walk behind on purpose. I walk behind his shield thing. I forgot. I don't know what that ability is called, like the bulwark thing. But I walk behind him because I want him to take damage from me because he's blocking the tower shots, right? I think he's blocking tower shots. I'm not sure if it does or not. But I'm walking behind him, so my poison will apply damage, and then we 1-for-1, which is super good because getting any kills on Pantheon early into the game is really helpful for Singed. I actually got 2 kills so far. 1 for the Fiddle Gank, and then 1 for tower flinging him right there. So yeah, Blighting Jewel is going to have great synergy naturally. Magic Penetration, Magic Penetration naturally has great synergy. This Fiddle outplay is insane, by the way. I pogged out when I saw this. It gives Magic Penetration, which is naturally synergistic with Riftmaker, because if you make your Riftmaker deal more damage, you heal more, you do more true damage, and then late game you can build it into a Void Staff when they start getting even more magic resistance, because naturally they probably will. They actually bought quite a few Merc Treads here, and they have natural MR scaling, so it worked out quite well. And then because those 2 items synergize well, it also synergizes quite well with my 3rd item this game, which was a Demonic Embrace. So this is actually kind of a bad trade by me, but I didn't think he'd catch me here. He gets bonus movement speed. There goes with 388, and I'm in range for his W. You know, I really got to read Pantheon's kick, as I was surprised by that kill that he had 388 movement speed. Because like I'm watching his movement speed here, and he goes to like down to 350 sometimes, and he like goes back up to 388. And like I'm always watching their movement speed to just like make sure that I can like play around their ranges and stuff. And Pantheon just seems really tricky, so I'm probably gonna take the time to read his kit after this, because I was just getting outplayed by this Pantheon really hard. And I can admit, you know, like I played the matchup very poorly, but the build that I did kind of saved my butt this game. So the 3rd item that I have this game is Demonic Embrace. Demonic Embrace deals magic damage, percent max health magic damage, 1.2 per second over 4 seconds. Adds up to 4.8% max health magic damage. Now, without Magic Penetration, this item does feel quite weak. With Magic Penetration, it feels kind of decent. Now, you can ask, well, Mishcap, don't you want to go, like, you can go Sork Shoes, right? Yes, you can go Sork Shoes, but the problem with Sork Shoes is you have to give up your boot slot for non-defensive boot option, or like a not swiftness movement option. And yeah, Sorcerer Shoes are quite good on Singed, but it renders you like really squishy in my opinion, and sometimes it's not worth it. A lot of the time it is worth it, but sometimes it's not. I think this is a good example of a game where it's not worth it, because I have to simultaneously be a frontline while also dealing good damage. For that reason, Tabby is the correct choice versus their like pretty AD heavy team. So here I'm just looking at Pantheon, waiting for him to cue the wave and letting him push into me. But ideally, like, you know, I'm not trying to like be super squishy, but I'm also trying to deal damage, and I've been trying to figure out like a decent way to do that. And I feel like Blighting Jewel might be a good item to experiment with. Like I'm not saying that it's like gonna solve all of the problems that I have with the current itemization, but it is actually quite decent. So right here, flinging him back, putting W on so he doesn't W onto me, and then just kiting it out basically. I know he wants to go for an aggro kill on me, so I'm not playing too far up. Because I know he has kill pressure. I know he always has kill pressure, so I'm just chilling basically here. I'm not sure if I die or not. Well, I guess we'll find out. But the Magic Penetration will amplify the magic damage that you deal from Riftmaker. It will amplify the damage that you deal from Demonic. Pop ult there for a little bit of health regen, just a little bit more healing off my Leeching Leer. So he actually ends up diving me here. I fling him, then I actually walk away. So he makes the mistake of putting his W down. Sorry, his bulwark down before I fling, and you don't want to do that on Pantheon, but because he does that, I actually end up just walking away, and he takes a lot of damage from the tower shots there. Sadly it wasn't a kill, but I back and I buy Riftmaker, so now I have some sustain. I'm healing up a little bit, and apparently he realized that he has kill potential on me there. I didn't know that he did. I thought that I would kill him there, but I didn't, so I have to end up backing off. I'm pinging for help, but my team's not there, and this is honestly my bad. I shouldn't have probably done this, but I thought it was fine. So here, I had a chance to leave. I didn't take the chance to leave because I thought I could out-sustain him because I just bought Riftmaker. I couldn't because he actually kills me with a spear right there, and I forgot that they made the spear do damage, so I frustratingly pinged my jungler because, so like, as a top laner, I'm thinking like, well, you know, you're not doing Dragon, like, he's no sums, he's in the lane at like 200 HP for such a long time, like, there should be kill pressure on this guy, right? But honestly, it's my mistake, and in the heat of the moment, you don't realize it a lot of the time. Like, the lizard brain wants to just blame jungle, even though that wasn't jungle's fault, so that's my bad. But that being said, yeah, Leeching Leer, sorry, not Leeching Leer, Blighting Jewel amplifies all of the magic damage that you deal. Obviously, magic penetration, 15%. Now, versus low MR teams, the flat magic penetration from Sorcerer Shoes would be quite good. Yeah, it would be quite good. That being said, they buy a lot of Merc Treads this game. You know, they have pretty high MR from their scaling. Like, I think there's a break point. I'm not sure if it's like 80 magic resistance or something when Void Staff starts to outperform flat magic pen. There is a point though. There's a break point when percent pen becomes better than flat pen, and I'm pretty sure they hit that break point this game. But it amplifies all of the magic damage that you deal. It makes it so that, you know, your poison is like quite relevant early on into the game, because I'm just gonna buy it second. For 1250 gold, it is a much faster buy than going Demonic. Then going Demonic third, it makes my Demonic already good by default. So, they're just flinging him away. I'm not trying to fight him here, I'm just trying to kite away. He is walking through my poison, he's eating this this Demonic, this Riftmaker damage. I think I fling him here. I fling him here, yes I do. Do I kill him here? Okay, I'm ghosting at him. He uses his E, tries to run away. Turn on champion target only, get the auto attack there. I die for it, but that's a shutdown for me. That's super worth it. Even though Pantheon kills me there, it's very worth it. So I hover over the Riftmaker here, I think, right? I hovered the Riftmaker. Okay, so I bought the Blighting Jewel here, 1250 gold. There it is. Do I hover Riftmaker? Tell me I hovered Riftmaker. There it is. Blighting Jewel. Now you guys are going to see a noticeable increase in damage because of the Blighting Jewel. Because he already has Merc Tread, so it's like already giving me a decent amount of value. But yeah, it scales super well in the late game. You can buy it very cheaply early game. It synergizes with like all of your items on Singed because you're trying to deal magic damage, like your 99% magic damage on Singed. And most other champions that deal magic damage have a certain way to get magic penetration. But the ones that are tankier than Singed, like, you know, most tanks, for example, will deal magic damage, but they don't deal as much as Singed, and they're tankier. Now, Singed can deal about as much damage as a Mordekaiser, but he doesn't have magic penetration in his kit. So that basically means that if you don't go Sorks, you're usually out of luck for magic pen. Now that's where the Blighting Jewel comes in. Like, it fits really well into the Riftmaker build path, because it fits super well with, like, you know, me going double health runes. It fits really well with me having health in the Riftmaker, health in the Demonic, and having a tanky set of boots, like, you know, Tabby or Merc Treads or something. So it synergizes very well with the kit. Get the Goofling on him here. He takes some tower shots, and I'm popping the potions. Do I pop ultimate here? I think I fight him here. Do I? I'm not sure. So, Alistar roams up, but my Veigar's TPing, so we've turned on the Alistar, I believe. Yeah, I turned on the Alistar. And you guys are going to see the Leeching Lair do a lot of work here, because the Alistar actually takes a decent amount of damage. I'm not flinging Alistar on purpose, because I want to go for the Pantheon. Fling him back there. Pantheon jumps on Veigar. I think Veigar dies, but then my team shows up, which is super good. They roam up. Look at the Alistar just melting the poison there, which is super awesome. And then Pantheon takes some decent damage here as well. He actually blocks the Pike ult, sadly, but do we fight this? I'm not sure. Okay, so we got 2 kills there. The Alistar just, like, man, that Blighting Jewel really just did some work against the Alistar as well, like, because it's amplifying my Riftmaker. My Riftmaker did 476 damage there, which is, like, actually quite nice. Actually, it was a little bit less than that because I fought the Pantheon before. But throughout the course of that fight, like, adding up to 476, like, you guys are gonna see this item, like, as this game goes on, as I finish more items, like, it really starts to kind of ramp up. And as soon as you finish that Blighting Jewel, like, you definitely notice the increase in damage compared to, like, not having it, because the Alistar, like, usually if I'm just normal Riftmaker there, like, with, like, maybe a blasting one, I don't think that Alistar dies, like, nearly that fast. I don't think Pike will be able to get the ultimate there. So yeah, it does get a lot of worth. So here, we're fighting some more. Fling him in, poison him a little bit, he dies. Now Pantheon ults in, we kite away. Yoni's walking up. I don't have enough mana here, which is why I'm really nervous about this, but I walk up, tap him with poison, get some auto attacks in there. And poison actually, I think kills him here, yeah. So normally, I don't think I'd be able to last hit. I didn't see how much damage I put on that, but you guys will see in the video. But I remember looking at Riftmaker, and, like, I was surprised by the amount of damage that I got from just, like, tapping poison on Alistar and tapping poison on Pantheon, just killing him. So right here, I had the option to finish Void Staff. I chose not to. I went for Tabby and decided to go health because I need health. And then I'm building into a Demonic here. Demonic obviously doing magic damage, Riftmaker doing magic damage. Well, Riftmaker technically just amplifies your damage, but you're doing magic damage, so magic damage. Makes your true damage stronger, going into the Demonic for that late game scaling. Plus, the combined cost from 1250 into 2600 for Void Staff makes it like a really cheap legendary to buy. Like 2600 total gold for Void Staff is like really nice for whatever mythic passive you're going for. In this case, I'm going for 8 AP and the extra 2% Omnivamp. So we charge up here towards the Karthus, ghost at him. Look at him just absolutely melting from the Riftmaker Blighting Jewel combo. Like they both just like basically melt. Alistar dies to poison. Karthus dies to poison. Don't even have demonic yet. Just, you know, easy double kill basically. Really surprised by the amount of damage that I put down on that Karthus. Do I check my Riftmaker here? I'm not sure if I do. So they jump on me here. I fling the Pantheon back. I think he lives here though. I'm not super sure. Oh no, we kill him. Yeah, look at the poison damage, man. I'm watching the replay and I'm just surprised by it. It's actually super satisfying. All right, I again didn't catch how much damage our Riftmaker did there, but I remember looking at it in game, and again I was kind of surprised by it. But the magic pen definitely helps. And yeah, I'm not saying that this like solves the problem with Riftmaker, but I think it's potentially a cool build path to experiment with and see if you guys like it. You know, always be trying to innovate and stuff like that, because like there's so many different ways to play Singed, and like none of them is like I think inherently better than the other. It all just depends on how you like to play. So, you know, I like being a tanky AP bruiser. I like being like I like being fast. I like being tanky. And I like doing damage. Like that's why I play Singed. And this build kind of covers that. You know, I have the ghost for movement speed. I have decent damage. I have decent tankiness. Like I'm getting more healing from Riftmaker. I'm getting more damage out of it. Like yeah, it feels good. Big fan of this setup so far. But yeah, I'm not saying it solves the problems of the item, but it definitely helps quite a bit. So there, I finish Demonic. Now I have 300 health plus 350 health, so I have 2277 health. I have 146 health off of Overgrowth, and I think check how much health I have off of my Overgrowth, but it is quite a bit. I think at some point I remember checking it, and I'm like over 200 HP off of Overgrowth and the other one. Overgrowth and the Scaling Health Rune. But yeah, now I have the Mythic passive stacked up a little bit, so I TPing to follow the Pantheon ult here. I think I'm not sure if I win this fight or not. I don't remember exactly. Okay, so I probably should have waited there until Pantheon's shield is down, and I probably should have turned back on the Alistar here too, but yeah, okay, so I do end up dying, but like, look at how much damage it dealt. Like, I did some decent damage to those guys there, and it kind of like prevents them from going like back into the fight immediately, so that feels pretty good. I don't know if my team finishes any kills there though. Oh, the Alistar heal, I remember that. But yeah, like I kind of inted there, but like I think the demonstration of my damage is actually quite good. Like with the Blighting Jewel, Demonic Riftmaker combo, I'm doing some decent DPS. Got the extra Omnivamp already from Demonic. Getting a lot of last hits, by the way. Last hits, good kills with this setup as well, which is a problem that Singed tends to have right now in Season 11, is like, because your damage went down, like you're losing DPS, so you're losing kills, so you're losing gold, because his damage went down. Because the new items are like not as good as the old items in my opinion. But that being said, this is definitely a decent increase to damage, and it only gets better as the game goes on. But the big part of it I think that I enjoy is that like with Riftmaker into Blighting Jewel, like you immediately notice a difference in your DPS compared to like going, for example, like I guess for 1250 gold I could get like I get like a Blasting Wand and a Ruby Crystal, right? Instead of Blighting Jewel. So that would give me 40 AP, and that would give me 150 health. So instead of that, I'm getting 25 AP and 15% Magic Pen. So I'm trading a little bit of tankiness and flat AP for, I think, like a greater amount of damage because of the 15%. So right here, we're just chasing the Pike. When Riftmaker gets stacked up here, it actually kind of starts to do a decent chunk of damage, especially after his Bone Plating wears off. So I messed my fling up there on him, sadly, but end up DPSing him. Yeah, look at that, dude. You know, Yone is flashy, but I actually had the highest damage on my team this game. You know, it only looks like he's doing super well, but super amounts of damage, which he is, but I end up doing more damage than him. But yeah, I think that the damage payoff, like the immediate damage payoff, is quite noticeable. And even though Blighting Jewel, I'm buying it for the early game, like it is actually quite decent later on to the game. Watch the Draven's health here, by the way, he just melts. It is actually quite decent later on into the game because you can just buy a Void Staff, and Void Staff is insane late game. Look at that damage, man! Like he's just melting. And Pantheon here again, like he just dies. 600 gold, by the way, off Pike coins here, so I have a ton of money right now, and I'm snowballing pretty hard, even though I had a pretty rough laning phase, and outscaling the Pantheon really well. Singed is much better late game than Pantheon is, especially if you have like items. You need items and levels, but as long as you have both, like you definitely outscale him. But yeah, it's been going quite well. I think after this, I'm not sure what I do. I don't think I recall, actually. I think I just go down to Dragon, but because I remember I bought 2 items really fast after this. But yeah, so I have 2654 health with that Ruby Crystal. I have 177 right now of Overgrowth, and I didn't look at my, do I look at my health scaling rune? But the thing that matters is that it gives you 90 health at level 18. So yeah, it's actually quite decent if you pair it with Overgrowth, I think. Another thing to talk about, I think at this point I was thinking to myself, I should talk about this in the video, but everything in the game besides minions has magic resistance, like Grump, Wolves, Raptors, Dragon, Baron, Towers. Everything has magic resistance besides minions, I think, and inhibitors. I'm not sure if inhibitors have magic resistance or not. I don't remember exactly, but here I sort of fight between Alistar and Pantheon, and they just, man, they can't deal with me. Like, look at my tankiness compared to my damage. Like, the Alistar's like already almost half HP, right? And my Riftmaker wasn't even like fully procced. That damage right there is through his ultimate. Like, I'm just completely murdering this guy, and yeah, they get me kind of low, but like, I just walk away, and my demonic and poison actually last hits the Alistar here, which is insane. Watch, yeah, there you go. Like I wasn't ready for that. Like, I didn't expect him to die. I figured, oh well, he got off on 1 HP. He'll just you know, regen up, but. You know, the Blighting Jewel with the Demonic Riftmaker is doing some fat damage, honestly, which feels really good. Like, normally Alistar would probably live there. The damage is definitely lower than if you had Leandries, but, like, you're so much tankier than if you have Leandries, like, man. And that's why I think this setup is worth, like, experimenting with, because of the tankiness combined with the damage. Like, it overall feels like a pretty strong build. I just, you know, theory crafted it this morning. I was like, well, every single AP champ and their mom is building Void Staff, so what if I tried that with like nothing but health? Yeah, it did pretty well, so. Alright, I think we fight here? Yeah, we do fight. So Pike misses his Q, set goes in, then we start fighting. Riftmaker gets sacked up. I back off because they want to kill me. I think Poison gets a kill or two here, I'm not sure. I'm proccing my Triumph, so I'm healing up a little bit, and I decided to go back in because my ultimate's about to come up. Then I just had to go back in because the Draven needs to die. Fling him, get a kill. I'm pretty sure I just murder the Karthus and Alistar here. Yeah. Watch that poison, man. Watch the poison on this Alistar here. It's quite nice. Turn Q off to maintain mana. Turn it back on when I get the fling. Oh, and the healing, man. The Riftmaker healing just keeping me alive. Triumph. I have 4,000 gold now without backing. I have so much money. And look at that Riftmaker damage. 2229. Like, that's really crazy for 24 minutes in the game. Like, that's, yeah, I think the combo is actually quite potent. By the Rylai's here, and because I had the money for it, I decided to finish the Void Staff. Now I have 3,000 health. I have 4 items, so my Mythic passive off my Riftmaker is giving me 2, 4, 6, 8 additional. 6 additional Omnivamp, and however much AP. I'm bad at math. But it's giving me an okay amount of AP, but the big thing there is the Omnivamp, and because I have Magic Pen, the Omnivamp is going to go quite hard for me as well. So looking at their items, they have Merc Treads, I think, on every melee champion, and their team comp. The set, Alistar, and Pantheon all have it. Nice. But yeah, Baron also has 70 magic resistance. I think the blue buff has a decent amount of magic resistance as well. I forget exactly how much. I guess we'll see here. 20. So like, yeah, flat M pen would be better versus like the blue buff and like the jungle camps, but like, you know, sometimes, like I said before, you don't have the luxury of going flat M pen. And in that case, you know, percent magic pen might be all you have because you have to go tanky boots. So here, we're just ahead, so my team's catching them out. I try to be relevant, so like the Ghost of the Pantheon, just fling him, doesn't even matter. We're just so far ahead. So we turn for mid inhibitor. I think we go for Baron after. I'm not super sure. But the setup here is going to be doing some really good work here in these next few fights, which is awesome. And yeah, like I said before, I'm not saying that like this solves the problems with Riftmaker, but I think potentially it does make Riftmaker like okay. Like, maybe it makes it purchasable. Maybe it makes it buyable, you know? So yeah, if you guys want to try it out, feel free. The most important part about the runes is that I am going double health scaling, you know? I guess you don't have to go double health because you are going Riftmaker first, you do have health first, but because I was delaying a health item second, because I was going Blighting Jewel, I decided to go for the health scaling rune. I ended up feeling quite good. I think I have like almost 300 HP off of my runes here, which is like really shockingly high, honestly. 300 HP is insane for runes. Alright, so we're back in here. I have 1,400 gold, which is a lot. I think I buy a giant spell. Forget exactly. No, I bought Winged Moonplate. So I decided that I wanted more movement speed just in case the game went super long, and I have plenty of damage as it is. I didn't check how much AP I have, I think. Hopefully I check soon, but I remember having a lot of HP. This is jamming out of the Splatoon song. So Pyke just, I guess Pyke can do this, but he's one-shots the Karthus. I don't know how he autoed him twice there, but he autoed him twice. So, Hail of Blades, maybe? I'm not actually super sure how he did that. But I see them fighting mid, so I TP mid. I think. Right? Do I TP mid? There it is. Maybe I don't. I thought I did. There we go. Okay. One nice thing at Riftmaker is I'm TPing in a minion wave, but I'm still healing quite a bit. It's like I'm not losing my health before I TP, which is quite nice. Fling the Alistair, that's, was that through his ultimate? I'm not sure, but we just melt. I think I checked my Riftmaker damage here. 2246, yeah, so like, it definitely climbed up a bit this game, and I think the combo of Rift and Blighting Jewel, you know, potentially quite good, potentially, but we'll have to see. Because the problem is it does require kind of a specific setup. I guess you can do it, you could potentially do this without the double health scaling rune, but, you know, this is why optimization and experimentation is really important, because you can, like, kind of, like, you can really min-max, like, your setup, you know? You can decide like what's really good and what's really bad, what works with the build and what doesn't work. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to like, you know, do a little bit of theory crafting and see if I could find something to make Riftmaker potential a little bit better. I think this works quite well. The build path for White Staff is really good. The build path for Riftmaker is quite good. Then you pop a demonic in there, you got like decent damage. You could even go Rylai's instead of whatchamacallit, instead of demonic, because you have the magic pen. Like, it just depends on your preference. And I got 99 LP because my internet has been really bad lately, so I had to unfortunately AFK, unintentionally AFK, or what do you call it, promos game last night. So yeah, sucks that the my internet's been bad, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And what do you guys think? You know, leave your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to hear your reaction to this type of setup and see if you like it. Hopefully I kind of explained it well. I was just doing off the cuff commentary. I didn't really have a whole lot of I don't really script write unless I'm doing a guide. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.